Hello there, guys. Today I'm going to bring you along to the gym and also going to get some footage for Kanan. He's doing some running on the track, I think. So we're going to go and take some videos for him for his content, and we're going to get a leg day as well. Probably my least favorite day in the gym of the week. And then after that, we're going to do the hair loss Q&A that I put on my Instagram. You guys sent me some questions, and I'm literally just going to go through that and answer them. We'll go and find a nice little spot somewhere. Although it's looking kind of windy outside, so I might have to do it inside, but we'll see. And I'll answer your questions, guys. But thought I would bring you along for the ride today and mix it up a little bit, just so it's not me sat in my room answering questions or talking about a hair loss topic. So I thought I'd just bring you with me to add a bit of variety, a bit of spice into the channel. So let's go. Whoa. You got that? When I use this camera, guys, it kind of crops in a little bit when I put the stabilization on. But anyway, normally I cycle to the gym, but I thought I'd start the Q&A and have a little walk, because it's a really nice day today. Let me show you. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful blue skies. But first question was, let me pull it up. In my experience, has it been harder to build muscle while on finasteride? Okay, so let me break down the science of that question first before I actually answer it. So when you start taking either 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, finasteride or dutasteride, obviously the idea of that is to reduce the amount of DHT in your system. And obviously when there is less testosterone being converted into DHT, well, you have more testosterone. And a lot of people worry that when they start reducing the amount of DHT in their system, that's going to affect the amount of muscle that they can build, because obviously DHT is way more androgenic than testosterone. But DHT sucks at building muscle. Like, it's pretty awful at it. But to answer the question, no, not at all. I have not noticed any disadvantage when it comes to building muscle while being on finasteride. Okay guys, I'm almost at the gym now, so I'm going to put the Q&A on hold, get the leg session done, do some filming for Kanan, and then I'll carry on with it afterwards. But today in the gym, we are going to do some deadlifts, leg press, calf raises, and some quad extensions. Leg day is literally like my least favorite day of the week, so we're just going to grind it out, make it hard, because I only do it once a week, so we got to make it count.
I don't wanna know the truth if it brings me solitude. I'm drowning into life from now, but I can't breathe without you in my eyes. I see your body every day. I'm holding on to
Gym session done, guys. Leg day has been completed, and I thought I'd just hop on the track quickly and answer some more Q&A questions while we're in these unfamiliar settings. But let's pull up the next question. Okay, have I had any hair transplants? No, guys, I have not had any hair transplants. I'm actually wearing a wig. No, I'm not wearing a wig, guys. I've had no hair transplants. This is one of the first things that I did think that I would have to have, and it would be kind of an unavoidable thing when I started to lose my hair. But no, I thought I'd give the hair loss treatments a try first. And, I kind of started taking them, and I thought, all right, I won't necessarily get all my hair back, but at least if it stops falling out, then maybe a bit further down the line, I will get a hair transplant. But I was pretty fortunate in the fact that I started taking the hair loss treatments and I got some really good regrowth. And that was just a combination of both me starting pretty early, you know, I was 23 years old, and also the fact that I was a pretty good responder to the treatment in general. Not everybody responds the same, but I got pretty lucky. So yeah, in answer to your question, no, I have not had a hair transplant. Maybe further down the line I'll get one. I mean, my hairline isn't perfect. The rest of my hair recovered really nicely. Like, I left anything beyond the hairline up to Finasteride. But yeah, I mean, there's still in like right up in the corners, it's still not a perfect hairline, but I mean, don't know, maybe in the future I'll get one, but as of now, no, I haven't had any hair transplants. Hey guys. It's gonna be good.
I want to put the torch on.
Bluetooth is connected.
So
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
we are back at the house. It was getting a little bit too dark at the track, but look what I've got for dinner. I've got some sausages. I like chorizo sausages. Got some curly fries and some asparagus. Not the healthiest dinner. You do normally eat a bit healthier than this, but yeah, we're gonna tuck into this now, and I'll answer some more questions. Okay, guys, that dinner was absolutely delightful. The bulk is going well, by the way. I'm going to be dropping the full 90-day transformation long-form YouTube video, so stay tuned for that. I think this video will be out before that, but yeah, should be dropping that pretty soon. Anyway, back to the questions. Next question, how much hair on average do you lose when shedding? Okay, so when I first started the treatments, I'd say around 2 weeks in, I started to shed pretty heavily, and it carried on for 3 months, kind of a pretty steady amount throughout that period. And yeah, I lost so much hair during that time. Like by month 3, I was looking my absolute worst. And I actually didn't get that many pictures during that time because I kind of didn't want to take pictures because I didn't like the way that I looked. And I kind of thought, you know, back then I didn't know as much as I do now about hair loss and, you know, done all the research that I've done. But I kind of just thought that my hair would stabilize. And I mean, I literally talked about this before. But yeah, I didn't take many pictures because I didn't like the way that I looked. So I wish, that's one thing I would recommend to you guys. If you're going through a really bad shed, go and take pictures so you can compare the before and after. Like, don't just take pictures of the good times. Take pictures of when you are in the trenches as well, because it's amazing to look back on it. And, you know, I wish I'd done it because then I'd have so much more content to show you guys. And yeah, I'm limited to an extent with the photos and videos that I do have. But after 3 months, the shedding kind of chilled out for the most part, and I pretty much didn't shed much at all other than like a normal, you know, 50, I guess, if I were to hazard a guess. I don't track it, but I'd say about 50 hairs a day until I hit the 1 year mark of treatment, at which point I did have another pretty substantial shed. It wasn't anything crazy. Like, I'd already made back a pretty great amount of ground. Like, my hair was looking a lot better. So at that point, when I did go through the shed, I didn't look awful, but I did go through a second shed a year into treatment. And I made a video on this, like, if you guys want to go and find out why this happens, because it is a totally normal thing, then I'll pop it up there. You can go check it out. But yeah, you can go through another shed. But since then, my hair has stopped shedding. It has chilled out. And I'd say again, now it's kind of like I'm shedding maybe about 50 hairs a day. Like, again, it's kind of hard to give an exact number. I know you guys would like to have an exact figure, but if I were to guess, I'd say about 50. It's nothing like crazy noticeable. Like when I was first shedding, I could literally like run my hands through my hair and tons of hair would fall out. Like I did it over the sink once. I'll throw up a video of that, and tons of hair came out. Like it completely covered the sink. But yeah, now it's kind of just like, probably you notice a few hairs in the shower, nothing on my pillow these days. And yeah, any hairs that would shed apart from that, it wouldn't really be noticeable because they just kind of fall out during the day and you wouldn't notice them leaving your head. But yeah, hope that answered your question. I think I'll answer a few of these tonight, guys, and then I'll probably take you into the next day with me as well, because you know, just mix up the scenery. And yeah, I kind of want to show you guys more of my life, so I'm not just a person on a screen that you see come up on your Instagram and TikTok feeds every now and again. I would like to kind of bring you along because you've been showing me so much love recently, and I appreciate that so much, guys. Like, genuinely, thank you for all the support that you've given me throughout this period where I've been doing social media. So yeah, also please do drop a like and subscribe to keep it up. Okay, next question: does finasteride regrow hair or only stop the hair from falling out further? Okay, so I think what my follower is referring to here is, you know, when you start taking finasteride, is it going to make the hairs on your head regrow, or is it just going to stabilize the hair loss and you're not going to lose any further hair? And the answer to this depends on how far gone you are in your hair loss journey, you know? Once a hair follicle gets so far down the line and it is miniaturized pretty severely, the chances of it coming back with finasteride are pretty slim, and this does vary from person to person. Like if you're a hyper responder, you see these crazy results on Reddit and social media where guys will literally be, you know, like a Norwood 5. I'll throw up a picture of what that is on screen, and then, you know, they start taking literally just finasteride, sometimes not even minoxidil, and they have these crazy transformations because they respond so well to the treatment. But for the vast majority of people, it is mostly just a case of, you know, they will either stabilize their hair loss so it's not going to lose any more hair than they already are. And the regrowth of the hair is often more so these small, thin, miniaturized hairs are no longer being attacked by DHT, so they are able to, you know, thicken up and return to a more natural state. I say natural, I mean the natural state is to be thin, but you know what I mean, what they would have been had you not have had the balding genetics. But yeah, often these hairs, when you do start taking finasteride, do tend to thicken up, particularly when you catch it early enough and, you know, get on treatment as soon as possible. A lot of people do tend to see these hairs, you know, start to come back a lot thicker. So a general rule of thumb would be, if there's literally an area, like a dead patch, just skin, no hair growing there, you know, if you hop on finasteride, dutasteride, 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, then the chances that anything's going to, you know, suddenly sprout out of there is next to zero. Like, you're not going to start growing hair in a bald patch. But if there are small, thin, miniaturized hairs that are still growing there, and, you know, the hair follicle isn't inactive, then, you know, there is a strong chance that hair could start to regrow or basically reverse the miniaturization process. And I think that's more so what regrowth is when you start taking these medications, as opposed to, you know, hair sprouting from nothing. But there are crazy transformations out there, and there can be guys who have like hairs that are so crazily miniaturized, and then they hop on treatment and get phenomenal results. So you'll never know unless you try at the end of the day. Okay, last question tonight, and I will answer some more tomorrow, but do you take beta carotene? You always have a glow. Thank you. I feel like I'd end up orange if I took it. I'm pale as hell. So no, I don't take beta carotene. Actually, that's one of these supplements that I've never tried. I do eat a fair amount of carrots in the week. I mean, they're a natural source. It's not like I'm gonna have crazy amounts of beta carotene just from eating carrots. But no, I've not tried beta carotene before. I was taking astaxanthin and lycopene for like quite a few months, I think, but I actually ran out, guys, and then literally just forgot to buy it again. And I didn't really track it. I think it gave my skin a bit more of a glow. By the way, if you don't know, astaxanthin and lycopene are also things that can make your skin look a bit more, you know, have a bit more of a glow to it, and a bit more of an aesthetic pigment, particularly if you're a pale guy. There are also a ton of other amazing benefits. So yeah, definitely look into those, guys, if you want to increase the glowiness of your skin, per se. Right, guys, I will answer some more questions tomorrow, but right now I am still hungry, so I'm gonna go and grab something to eat. So let's go to the kitchen. Okay, guys, look at these. I got these at M&S today. We got some pecan tarts. These are looking sensational. I'm gonna have to tuck into one of these right now. Yeah, I lied, guys. I also ended up getting some Greek yogurt, some fruit, got some kiwi and apple, got some peanut butter. But hey, I'm a growing boy, guys, and the bulk is going well. So yeah, don't judge me. Right, guys, I'm gonna tuck into this feast, but I will catch you in the morning to answer some more questions. So see you then. Okay, guys, it is now the next day. This morning I went to the gym and hit a back session. It was pretty good. I'll throw up the pump here. And yeah, I'm going to make a full YouTube video about that. So if you guys, I mean, there's not been that much interest in it on those platforms until recently. In the last few weeks, you guys have been a bit more interactive with it. But I mean, let me know if that's something you want me to carry on, because I've been really enjoying it, and particularly linking it in with the hair loss stuff and making content like this. I've really enjoyed doing this today and yesterday. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this. But yeah, I'm going to be dropping that video soon. So if you want to see my 90-day transformation, then yeah, go watch that one. But back to the Q&A. Let's get on with some more of your guys' questions. Okay, so we've got quite a few questions about teenagers going through hair loss. We've got a guy who's 15, another guy who's 15, a guy who's 17. And this is a really common question. I actually made a video about this before, guys, but I'll go through the basics again of what I would suggest for guys who are under 18 and going through hair loss. Also, this is not medical advice. It's kind of ruining the aesthetic of the video, but I'm gonna have to throw up a quick disclaimer, guys. So bear with me for 5 seconds. But yes, guys, always consult your doctor, do your own research, and have a good understanding of these treatments before you start taking them. That being said, based off the research, here is what I would recommend. So the number one most important thing for stopping hair loss is a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor. But you do not want to be on this until you are 18 years old. A 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, as you probably know by now, blocks the conversion of testosterone into DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. Now, once you're a fully developed man, DHT isn't as important and testosterone can fulfill most of its roles. But when you're a teenager, it is, yeah, pretty important in quite a few aspects. I mean, it literally turns you from a boy into a man. And if you started taking a DHT blocker, finasteride, dutasteride, then you could stunt pretty big parts of your development. Finasteride was discovered a long time ago now by a researcher who discovered a group of people who were pseudo-hermaphrodites. Now, what this means is that they had a 5-alpha reductase deficiency. And I'll throw up a picture of these guys on the screen and you can kind of see what they look like. I mean, they look like men. They don't look like they've suffered any development issues, but their penis, their willy, their plonker,
What?
did not grow. You know, it didn't develop into a full-size one. And this is one of the things that DHT drives when you're going through puberty. So yeah, you definitely don't want to block it. Now, what this researcher did discover, she was called Dr. Imperatu McKinley, is that these people, the pseudo-hermaphrodites, did not ever suffer any male pattern baldness, and their prostates never got enlarged. And finasteride is also a benign prostatic hyperplasia medication, which is basically an enlarged prostate. And so this finding basically prompted the creation of finasteride, in that if you are inhibiting 5-alpha reductase, then yeah, the chances of DHT miniaturizing your hair follicles is dramatically decreased. But yeah, back to the question. Sorry, that was a massive tangent, which I know I do very frequently, so sorry about that. But do not go on a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor until you are 18 years old. Until then, what I would recommend is talking to your doctor about hopping on minoxidil. Do this once a day. Once a day is fine. It's usually recommended to do it twice a day, but the half-life of minoxidil is long enough to get away with once a day. Now, not everybody responds to minoxidil the same. This is because some people have a greater sulfotransferase activity on their scalps, and some guys lack this. So if you're a guy that does not respond to it as well, you can use tretinoin. I use tretinoin myself because I do think it increases the effects that minoxidil give, for me anyway. Some people have enough of this activity on their scalps. You can also use this on your skin and it makes it nice, basically. But yeah, tretinoin is definitely something that I would recommend if you don't respond to minoxidil super well. Next treatment would be ketoconazole shampoo. This is kind of it's a no-brainer to add into your hair loss routine, honestly. Like, it's just a shampoo. You literally rub it onto your hair like you would any other shampoo, leave it for sort of 7 to 10 minutes to actually soak into the scalp. Like, that's why a lot of these shampoos that claim to, you know, stop hair loss is just, it's a lie. Because if you're literally rubbing some shampoo into your hair for what, 30 seconds, then it's gone. Like, it's not going to be able to do anything. That is why you want to leave it on your scalp for 7 to 10 minutes at least. If you can do a bit longer, then great. Yeah, I do that once a week. The only downside is that it's pretty drying on your hair. Like, it's not, most of the shampoos you get, like Nizoral, Dandrozol, whatever they're called, they're not amazing for your hair itself. It doesn't make it look that good. That's why I only use it once a week, and I make sure I use a good conditioner afterwards, just so my hair isn't all frizzy. But it's one of them, like, guys, you may as well use it because it's literally a shampoo. It's not invasive. There's no side effects other than the dry hair. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend adding that one in. Basically, do these things until you're 18 years old. I know it sucks, guys. I always say like it just sucks that you have to go through this at a young age. Like I went through it at 23. I can't imagine going through hair loss when you're in school, when you're, you know, literally don't even know who you are as a person. Like you're in the most judgmental place in the world, being in school. So I really feel for you guys that you're going through that. So yeah, hang in tight. Do those things until you are 18 years old, and then when you are 18 years old, go talk to your doctor about getting on finasteride, dutasteride, whichever one you think is better for you. I'd recommend starting with finasteride first, but yeah, until then, just hang tight, stick to those things, and yeah, best of luck. Okay, next question: does sleeping late at night cause hair loss? I assume you mean, does not getting enough sleep cause hair loss? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to cause it, but it's not going to help your hair growth either. Like, obviously, you're going to have higher levels of cortisol, which is not great for things like shedding, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be the cause of hair loss. That is ultimately going to be down to androgens and your genetic predisposition to how sensitive you are in your hair follicles to these, and how receptive the androgens in your scalp are, in your hair follicles are to these. So no, ultimately, hair loss isn't going to be caused by lack of sleep. It's not going to help any health. Like sleep is it's the pillar of life, guys. So make sure you're getting enough Z's. Next question. Hi. Hey. All right, next question. I want to start finasteride 0.5 milligrams every other day, or should I start with 1 milligram? Okay, guys, so the standard dose is 1 milligram daily. Personally, when I embarked on my whole hair loss treatment journey, I started with 0.5 milligrams, and the reason I did this is because, like many of you guys, I was scared of the side effects too, because, you know, there is so much fear mongering online, and the actual side effects are blown pretty far out of proportion a lot of the time, which I understand because, you know, literally, if you're a guy that has side effects, you're way more likely to go and talk about it online, and rightly so, because you want to protect people. Like if you take a medication and don't get a nice experience with it, then, you know, you're going to want to go and post on Reddit about it. You're going to want to tell people about it because you don't want that to happen to them, which is fair enough. But the actual chances of it are pretty low. Like studies have shown this. I've talked about it before on all my social media channels, but yeah, the chances are like 2 to 4% of getting severe side effects. But I was scared, guys. Like I didn't want to take a medication for the rest of my life. Like I didn't understand it properly at that time. But yeah, guys, I started with 0.5 milligrams of finasteride, and I did this 3 times a week to start with. Now, I think this is a pretty good way to approach starting treatment, because when you look at the studies, 0.5 milligrams is pretty close in efficacy to 1 milligram. And for me, I just wanted to introduce this new treatment to my system gradually and titrate upwards over a longer period of time. And so the way that I did this is starting with 0.5 milligrams 3 times a week, and then gradually over time I decreased the distance between the days over the course of a year, basically, until I was at 1 milligram daily. And so the way that this looked is by sort of halfway through the year, I was on 0.5 milligrams daily. And then, you know, month after month, it would be 1 day of the week, I'd take 1 milligram, and then 2 days of the week, 3 days of the week, and so on. That's the way that I did it. And I basically introduced it very slowly to my system, just to allow my endocrine system the time to adjust to it. Obviously, the guidance is to just hop on straight away to 1 milligram daily, but there's a lot of good anecdotal evidence that starting at 0.5 milligrams can be a good option. And I don't like to use anecdotal evidence very often, guys, because it's not real evidence. Like, there's no science behind it, but I think it worked well for me. I'm not advising you guys to do it, but that's just the way that I did it. Make your own decisions. For the most part, like, most guys can just take 1 milligram daily and be fine with it. But yeah, that's just what I did, guys. Like, you can copy it if you want to, you don't have to, but yeah. And then also, like, if you're a guy that has side effects, you know, taking some gaps in the days between your doses, this can help manage side effects. I mean, fortunately for me, I never had any side effects. Like, I was pretty lucky. But if you are a guy that has side effects, then, you know, increasing the amount of time between doses can be pretty beneficial. Okay, guys, we will answer one more question here today, and then we'll call it a day. And maybe I'll do another Q&A, guys, if you've enjoyed this. But okay, let's end on a big one. What is the best treatment for hair loss? Okay, so I made a pretty big video on this, guys. I'll link it up here. It was literally going over every possible thing that you could do for hair loss to combat it, all the safe things basically, all the the standard stuff. But here's the basics. First thing you want to do is block DHT. You're going to want to use a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor to do this. The options for this are finasteride or dutasteride. Finasteride blocks only type 2 5-alpha reductase, and it will block up to 70% of your DHT. Dutasteride blocks type 1, type 2, and type 3 5-alpha reductase, and it goes all the way beyond 93% of your DHT systemically is blocked. Probably a good idea to start on finasteride just to see if that is enough for you, because to be honest, it is enough for most guys. I am currently taking both finasteride and dutasteride. I take finasteride 6 days of the week, and then on a Sunday, 1 day of the week, I will take dutasteride at 0.5 milligrams. The reason that I'm doing this is because a lot of you guys were asking about dutasteride, and I couldn't really give a personal account of it without trying it. So I literally ran this experiment on myself to take dutasteride 1 day of the week to see if I had any side effects. And I might make a YouTube video about that after I've been on it for a bit longer. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. But I've been tracking it the whole time that I've been taking dutasteride on my Instagram, on my TikTok. In fact, I'll throw them up there, guys. Make sure you go and follow. We're almost hit. In fact, we may have hit 60K on Instagram today. Let's have a look. Okay, we are on. Don't know if you guys can see that, if it'll focus. Focus. Come on, man. Is this camera touchscreen? Hang on. Oh my, this camera's touchscreen. I never even knew this. There you go. Can you see it? On 59.9 thousand followers on Instagram. So guys, if you are not following, make sure you go and follow it. Let's try and get to 60K by the end of the day. Thank you guys. Lots of love. But anyway, back to the question. I've been tracking the whole process of taking dutasteride on my Instagram, on my TikTok, and yeah, I've been having no side effects apart from some ones that aren't detrimental side effects. But go and watch the videos to find out what they are. Hint, it's to do with my libido and my back hair. Anyway, the second thing that I would recommend for hair loss treatments, the best ones would be minoxidil. You're going to want to obviously deal with the androgen side of the equation first, because that is the most important. But to actually stimulate hair growth, you're going to want to add in a growth stimulant. You don't have to, but when you use a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, it's kind of a golden duo. The DHT blocker is stopping further loss, and the minoxidil is increasing the rate of growth on your hair, stimulating hair growth. And then yeah, other than that, as I said before, ketoconazole shampoo. Then if it's a few years down the line and you're still struggling with these, you can increase the dose of dutasteride. You can look into things like oral minoxidil, topical anti-androgens, although these are kind of a gray area because they, the main ones that are out there at the moment are either not fully proven clinically or they are not FDA approved, such as things like RU58841. There's tons of good results of guys who have used this, but I mean, I can't recommend this to you guys because it literally isn't approved by a governing body, and they dropped clinical trials on it before it was released. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend that to you, but it is also it works, but the side effects long term aren't known about it. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend that one to you guys, but it does deal with the the surface level androgens on the scalp. But yeah, in a nutshell, I would say finasteride, dutasteride, minoxidil, tretinoin, ketoconazole shampoo, they're the main ones that you should look into and talk to your doctor about. Yeah, that is kind of the end of the Q&A, guys. I mean, hope you enjoyed it. I couldn't answer all of your questions, but if you want me to do another one of these soon, I definitely will. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, closing statement. Okay, guys, if you're going through a rough patch in your hair loss treatment at the moment, you're thinking it's not working, like I'm still shedding, I've been on it for 3 months, my hair's still falling out, it's not going to come back. Just trust the process, be consistent, try and take the treatments, use the treatments, be consistent, and just forget about it, okay? Which is very easier said than done. I didn't do that at all. I was literally thinking about it every day until it came back. But try and forget about it, guys. Just trust the process. Do what you can. By being on treatment, you are doing the best thing that you possibly could, okay? If you weren't on treatment, your hair is going to carry on falling out and eventually you'll go bald. But by being on treatment, you are doing something about it, guys. So keep it up. Talk to each other in the comments. Go on any of my posts and talk to each other. Like, I can only answer so many comments, guys, so many DMs. I really wish I could. I get like 50 DMs a day, but help each other out in the comments. Honestly, like anecdotal evidence, like personal experiences are so valuable. So go and help each other out and talk to each other about your experiences. But yeah, anyway, guys, this is probably a super long video now, but if you've enjoyed it, please do hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. There's going to be tons more hair loss content coming soon. Thank you for all the support, as always, guys. I really do appreciate it. I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, do. But yeah, I will see you in the next video, guys. Lots of love and bye.